Good morning. We have started a little bit later today, but it's been a great practice. The Father has us as a family. And if we are not loving and caring for every member of our family, we're not doing our job. And that doesn't please Him. He's not pleased by, I did it, started on time, check, check, check. He's not pleased by that. Mercy triumphs over judgment. So we had a wonderful time of family and caring, loving one another, praying for one another, singing or for one another because you sang for all of us too. That was so beautiful. Day 13, page 135. And that is Vav. Is that a surprise to you? It's not to me. Day 6, Vav, that word is a hook. It's a nail. It's a connection. And as we see the curtains all connected by hooks, as we see the nails on our Savior's hands and feet, and as we see the priceless connection He has made for us between heaven and earth, so that we can align ourselves with the true image of our Father that is deep within each one of us. And we can line that up with the perfect us that is in heaven, that image that does not have fig leaves covering it, that it is completely visible. That is how we are as we peel all these layers. And little by little, the Father is maturing us, completing us, until we are just like Him, perfect, mature, complete. The verse for today is Ephesians 2:13. But now, in Messiah, Yeshua, who previously were far away, have been brought near by the blood of Messiah, the Christ. And it's important that as you read this, it says far away. It doesn't say you didn't exist in the map. You were like on another dimension where I can even see you. We were far from His presence, but we were there. Always remember that. You were not non-existent. And He had to like, poof, bring you into the scene. No, He just brought you close, closer to His heart. Our eyes are open. It's like we're wandering all over the place, like sheep without a shepherd, just baa here and there, trying to find our way. And then He starts opening our ears to hear His voice, our eyes to see where we're going, and trying to come closer and closer to that comforting voice that tells us, come back, sweet one, I'm here for you. And we are brought near by Him, by His Spirit. He's so good. So today we reflect in how the blood of Messiah connects us to our Father, to Yah, reconciling us and bringing us into His presence. So we will thank you for your goodness. Thank you for your mercy. Thank you for your compassionate heart that teaches us how to be compassionate towards others. Thank you that you are slow to anger. You don't sin in your anger. And we do. So we're learning to pace with you, to walk in a way that we can pause and think and breathe the Holy Spirit in and blow out that CO2 that's giving us anxiety, what we don't need. We blow out what we don't need in our normal breathing. And we breathe in what we need. Thank you. Thank you that you give us those illustrations. You give us that knowledge in the natural so that we can help our emotional well-being, and we can learn to develop this thinking, this reasoning and logical way of thinking that is in tune with you. Not with the world, but with you. Thank you, Abba. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your answers. Thank you for the tools you give us so that we can help regulate ourselves, that we can regulate with you, and we can regulate with one another. Because when I am weak, my siblings are strong. And I thank you for that. We praise you because you are here in our midst. This is a sacred space that you have called us all to be in with you, so you can teach us, so you can rearrange the furniture in our minds and get rid of things that don't need to be there and add things that need to be there. We'll get this little aha moments when we hear a certain word, a certain concept, certain scripture. And we go, oh, I had not thought about that. But you do that. And we thank you for that. I long for that every second of my life, to have those connections, to have those aha moments, to have those moments that you say, good looking at me, and feel your hand on my shoulder, saying, that's what I'm talking about. When we can see face to face and you can hear me. When my voice, says the Father, is louder than the voice out there, louder than my own voice. That's what we need. That's when we can obey, because we understand what we're hearing. Thank you. We praise you and we worship you. And thank you for the privilege that it is to speak your word. It's not a formula, it's life. Your word is life, it's truth. It's our way back to you. And we worship you through your word, through Messiah. Psalm 95 says, come, let us sing for joy to Jehovah. Let us shout out loud to the rock of our salvation, Yeshua. Come before him with thanksgiving and extol him with music and song. The joy of our Father is our strength. For Jehovah is a great God, the great King above all gods. All, A-L-L. There's absolutely nothing greater than you. In your hands are the depths of the earth, and the mountain peaks belongs to you. You made the seas, and you made everything. You formed the land. come, let us bow down and worship in total awe and adoration of who you are. You are our Elohim, and we are your sheep, the flock under your care, belong to you, and nothing can take us away from you. Absolutely nothing. No one. Nothing created, nothing visible or invisible. Everything has been created. So if nothing that has been created can take us away from you, we can, with all 100%, that question, is it 100% true? Oh, yes, it is. We read Romans 8, 35 and on, and we can say, oh, yes, nothing can separate us from the love that you have for us in Messiah. Thank you. Who was slain before the foundation of the world, before any of us were ever in this world. Before we ever had our first breath out of the womb of our mothers. You knew all this would happen. And when you say it is finished, it's all that you created. Because you had the solution before you created the world. Help us understand that, Father, because that is paramount, to have trust in you, fully believe, and silenced those words, those voices that wants to tell us otherwise. Thank you. We worship you. And we continue to work in that, as you have called us to, by breathing, co-regulating with you, because you are the word, or the word is yours. And it is important that we breathe in and breathe out, hearing your word, putting our minds, our hearts, and our souls in alignment with you. Okay.
Aleph, Day 1. In Messiah, we are completely secure. Our Father has transferred us out of darkness into His marvelous light. Hear His words spoken over you now. I have freed you from condemnation. I am working all things together for your good. Nothing in all creation can separate you from my love, the love that is in my Son, your refuge, your cleft in the rock. You bear my image. Therefore you are merciful and compassionate, slow to anger, abounding in loving kindness and truth. You keep loving kindness to thousands. You forgive iniquity, transgression, and sin. And as you forgive, healing enters your heart, and peace begins to settle within you. Bet, Day 2. In Messiah, I am completely loved and fully accepted. Hear our Father speaking over you now. I formed you in your mother's womb. I grafted you into my life. In my book, I wrote all the days ordained for you before even one of them came to be. I made you a citizen of heaven. I have given you a spirit of power, of love, and of a sound mind. I will bring to completion, to perfection, the work I began in you. I have declared you forgiven. Your life is complete in Messiah. I am the author and the finisher of your faith. I see you as a saint, a holy one, set apart by me and for me. Gimel, Day 3. In Messiah, I am chosen, declared righteous, and created with purpose. Listen as our Abba speaks over you. You are the salt of the earth and the light of the world. I have chosen you and appointed you to bear lasting fruit. I empower you by my Spirit to be my witness. I have made you a dwelling place, a home where I live. I have appointed you as an ambassador of my kingdom and a minister of reconciliation. I have seated you with Messiah in the heavenly places. I have designed you and carefully crafted you to walk in good works prepared for you. I have chosen you to work with me, and you can do all things through Messiah who strengthens you. Dalit, Day 4. Yeshua is the door to the Father. From the beginning the Father said, "Let there be light," and Yeshua is that light, the light shining in the darkness, that the darkness cannot overcome. He is the menorah, the light of God dwelling among us. He is the bread of life, given from heaven to sustain us. He is the living water, flowing to all who thirst. He is the good shepherd, who knows his sheep and lays down his life for them. He is the way, the truth, and the life, and no one comes to the Father except through him. He is the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. He is the bridegroom, faithful and returning, making all things new. Through Yeshua, I have access to the Father, and I rest in his authority. Hey, Day 5. The breath of our Father moves within you and gently guides you into all truth. The Spirit of power sets the pace of Yah in your life. The Spirit of wisdom helps you discern clearly and frees you from deception. And as these old patterns loosen, you may begin to notice wisdom quietly forming within you. As you breathe, become aware of spaces inside you gently organizing themselves, each one finding its proper place without effort, without striving. The spirit of understanding brings insight, wisdom applied in a way that builds both yourself and others. This wisdom leads you toward harmony, away from strife, and into reconciliation. Harmony and compassion lifts you above ego, allowing you to see others clearly and to speak words that are gentle, life-giving, and true. Vav, Day 6. When the Spirit moves, you may begin to perceive patterns, cycles, rhythms, and order quietly revealing themselves within you. As submission grows, rebellion is silenced, and humility will release self-reliance and place our full confidence in you, Abba. As the body and breath reconnect, you may find creativity and energy emerging naturally without effort or resistance. As ambassadors on the earth, we intercede not only for ourselves, but for the nations. When we confess and turn away from sinful patterns, freedom is restored. Bonding is the foundation of emotional life. Connection brings strength, stability, and peace. As you rest, your vision widens, your space opens, and your time expands. Zayin, Day 7. I choose to believe the truth about my Father God. He is intimate and deeply involved. He is kind and compassionate, accepting, filled with love and joy. He is warm and affectionate, always with me, and eager to be with me. He is patient and slow to anger, loving, gentle, and protective. He is trustworthy and desires to give me a full life. His will for me is good, acceptable, and perfect, overflowing with grace and mercy. He gives me the freedom to fail without withdrawing his love. He is tender-hearted and quick to forgive. His heart is always open to me. His arms are always ready to receive me. He is committed to my growth and delights in me. He is proud of me As his beloved child, I am the apple of his eye. As the 7 minutes come to an end, the breath is completely released. Do not inhale and hold. Allow the body to rest in the stillness before the next inhale. If this is new, wait only a few seconds. With practice, gently work toward 30 to 60 seconds, staying at ease. Research shows this exhale retention signals safety to the nervous system, supporting the cellular cleanup and mental clarity. When the body naturally calls for breath, inhale slowly and return to normal breathing.
Okay. Here we are back on page 135. Separate the beast from the divine image. That's our day 6 in creation, right? Reflect on your thoughts and actions. Are they aligned with our Father's image or the beastly nature? The beastly nature is fueled and moves in the natural realm. That's our nature. So that one is there so that we can learn to take care of ourselves. We can survive in case of an emergency. It's geared by fear. Fear is the predominant emotion. Let me just put it that way in this realm, because if I want to survive, I need to learn what are the things that will keep me from surviving or living. So those are my senses are more aware of that in this realm because it's needed for survival. So as we are working, detoxifying this toxic thought, getting rid of it, taking it apart, because it's so much easier if you want to clean properly a blender. Just take the whole thing off, take the cap underneath out, take everything, take the gaskets out. It's so much easier to fully clean it when you can see all the parts than when you have a whole blender. You can just use the soap and try to clean it, use a brush as much as you can, but there are places that you cannot get in unless you take it apart. And that's what we're doing in this week. And we're finishing tomorrow, this week of the soul. We're digging in. What is it that is causing this toxic thought to stay there? What kind of ground it has? And it has learned how our bodies have learned to survive by using it. So we have to rewire that and say, I know this has been good enough, but it's not the best. It's not our Father's way of doing it. It is just the best way you knew how before this took over. And you have to remember the first 25 for women, 29 for men, and somewhere in between. I'm not saying that, there could be women that take up to 29, and there could be men that are actually learned in 25 or 26 years to develop that part of the brain where it helps them, give them the brake and the pedal and know when to stop and have self-control. That's why self-control is the last one. Have you ever thought about that? That the fruit of the spirit and self-control. Because that's the last one to develop up here, is the one that gives us that control over our emotions. Okay. So we are being keenly aware of what are my modus operandi. How does my body normally um, act when this or that happens? So then that's created a pattern that if it's negative, it's become a stronghold. And or obviously, if it's negative, will become a stronghold, but it is also a stronghold because there is some trauma involved that is blocking us from seeing truly what's there. Because there are things that we can normally get, rid of, um, or, turn around easier than others. But there's some that we're not aware. So that's why we do this. It's a self-search through all the different pattern um yeah, there are patterns, good patterns that are given here so that we can see it through different angles. We can turn that thought like a diamond and see many, many facets of it. It's not just black and white, yes or no, good or bad. It's a lot more complex than that. So as we do that, it's like, what in me has made me so keen and aware of things around me that I have developed this pattern to protect myself from it, whether it is insecurity in my home that has made me be over focused on I need to do this, I need to do that, I need to protect myself. But remember that you are protecting yourself as a child. So that pattern that is toxic is not a pattern that we need to have at 65 years old. It was cute when I was 10, but it's not cute anymore now that I'm 65. So I have to bring that down and see, oh, okay, I know where that came from. And now, how do I turn that around so that I can strengthen a better pathway to manna, to living water, to the presence of the Father, and not create this little um, cave, for lack of a better word, where I've learned to hide there or fight from there or find my peace in there and I'm protected. Well, I could have been protected, during those years, obviously, because that's all I knew. And it fit my, 10-year-old size. I'm not that size anymore. I don't fit in there anymore. Therefore, a lot of me is out in the open and others can see, even though in my mind I am protected because my little 10-year-old thinks I'm okay. And everybody around me says, oh, Simi, there you are doing it again. And I'm like, what? Doing what? And it's hard for me to even understand what is it that you're seeing that I can't. And that's why we need each other. I do this with my friends, with my besties. Okay, this is how I feel. This is what happened. And this is what is, the end result of that. And what am I doing wrong? What am I not seeing? And they will tell me, well, have you thought about this? Have you thought about that? Or I hear myself tell that to them and then realize, oh, that did not sound right. I can hear the repetitions of certain words that are denoting survival. So I know in which one of the two I am. And they're my sounding boards. And that is wonderful because then we say, okay, take note. I need to work on that. I need to see where that's coming from. And if it's something that we can do at that moment, we can continue it. Well, I obviously, now that I say it out loud, realize where that's coming from. And that was a phase of, my family, my parents, my upbringing, my school age, my whatever it was, the place where I was, the church that I was in, or whatever it was that I needed that then, or so I thought, in order to cope with life. Okay, so that I'm not there anymore. That's not an issue anymore. I can't use that little formula right here, right now in this area because it doesn't fit. It's not even the same thing, but it's the same fear that I learned to cover myself so that nobody saw my nakedness. And the father said, I have a better cover than that. Why don't you exchange that with me? Just give me your fig leaves and I'll give you good covering. And it's like, okay, let's do the work. I go back and I face it. I name it. It is important that we name things. When I don't feel okay, it's okay to say, I don't feel okay. I feel lousy right now. I feel, what do you mean by lousy? That's a very general term. Well, I don't feel good all around. But what is it exactly that you don't feel? Well, I have sinusitis, so my face hurts, my bones hurt, my head hurts. Okay, like right here between the eyes. Okay, what have you done something for it? So then you do this with yourself. I did this, that, and the other. Okay, now that's physically. You did that. Now what about emotionally? Well, I guess I can change my glasses and stop wearing the sick glasses and say, um, I am not going to die from this. That I know. This too shall pass. And if I focus on things that make me happy, things and people and love that comforts me, I actually feel better. Okay, so that's good. You worked on that emotional. Now, spiritually, what do you think? Um, well, for a minute, I was thinking I felt lonely. I felt like, do you really see that your daughter is hurting? Do you even care? All the little questions that we ask as a child, right? Because we know better. But at that moment, that's all we think. That's all we feel. And then I can answer myself, yeah, you do. Yes, you know. And yes, you love me. Okay. So what can I learn from this? What can I do so that I don't just throw myself in bed and say, well, woe is me. I just feel so bad. There's nothing I can do. Nobody can help me. I'm just going to die. So I can say, there are things that need to be done. I still need to get up and take a shower and blow dry my hair and put a face on. Um, that makes me feel better, actually. When I don't see my big dark circles and my pale skin and I see some color and I feel like, okay, at least I look better than I feel. Okay. And then what else? You keep going. And then what's the next step? What's the next step? You keep pushing yourself. Okay. Now I can say, you know what? I feel a little better than yesterday, than last night at least. So this will pass. And today's a beautiful day out there. I can go and spend some time in the sun. I just start bringing Philippians 4:8, everything that is good, everything that is pure, everything that is worthy and of excellence, everything that is worthy of praise, everything that is my Father. Just cozy in his arms and say, oh, Abba, hold me. Help me feel better right now. I just need a kiss right here in my nugget, in your arms around me. And I feel better. So all that took, just a few minutes, but it does work because what happens is we want somebody else to do that for me. And sometimes if I'm unconscious, if I'm out, please do that for me because I can't. But if I'm conscious and I'm talking and I'm moving, then I need to take responsibility of this body. This body was given to me to care for. My mind, as we were talking this week, is not my brain. My mind knows what my brain needs. My brain needs brain food. My brain needs to rest. My brain needs to give it some supplements so it can fight. So that then I take care of this body with my mind. And if I'm seated with him in heavenly places, I can ask him, what do I need? What do I need to do? And that is my responsibility. It's not anybody else's, it's my responsibility. So we learn that. Even as a child, I wish I would have been taught that. I wasn't. Most of us, we are sick, we just go to our parents and we let them take care of us. And, if I'm 5 years old, that's as much as I know. I don't even know how to read labels and things to know what to take. But I can say, Mommy, what do I need to take? Is there something that it will be good for me? Or I hear my parents say this, why are you giving me that? What is that for? So that I learn, oh, when I get like this, she gives me zinc. She gives me quercetin, etc. She gives me chelated silver. Um, and those fermented honey, garlic and honey that are delicious, that I actually like. I don't like garlic, but when it's fermented in honey, it's delicious. So I want one of those. So, then I start creating my own recipe for health. And when I don't feel good, and if I'm told over and over and over, okay, let's pause. Let's change our mindset from I'm going to die because you're not, and I am all alone because you're not, and I am going to feel like this awful all day long because you don't have to. Then what can I do next? And then I create that repetition over and over and over, and I learn. And that's what we should have been taught, those of us that haven't. And those that have, hallelujah, you had great parents to pass down tools that I didn't get passed down. I had to learn them in college. But the thing is that now I have them, now I can use them, and now I can pass it on to my children. I don't want, well, my children were raised that way because I didn't know all this until I actually homeschooled them. They were on their own, and then I went back to college. But now I know, and now I do share that with them, and for my grandchildren. And it is amazing. My 40-year-old grandchild responds very well to pause. Before, he would just throw things and break them and had incredible meltdowns. And because his emotions are so big, he's a leader. Leaders do that. I could say pause, and he hears that. And he says, I don't feel good. And he goes to his room. He says, I will be back. And he closes the door. And I can hear him doing whatever he wanted to do out here with his own toys. And then um, you can say, okay, are you okay? When he finally comes back, I'm okay, Mimi. I can talk now. He learned that by repetition over and over and over. He did not come out of his mother womb with that information. He learned it. So yes, we can. We can learn this, but we have to repeat it and repeat it and repeat it, just like we did with the ABCs. That is just the way our brain works. We speak truth. I'm the head and not the tail. I bear the image of my Father. identity. Identifies areas of cognitive dissonance and invite the spirit of knowledge to bring clarity and healing. The identity is paramount. When I know who I am, I can speak into it. If I am the daughter of the King of Kings, that is unbecoming, Simonette. No, a princess does not act that way. You need to change that attitude. So we know who we are. We speak into that. You are the light of the world. Do you think you're showing light right now? No, you're not. So you better do something about it, because right now what you're showing is darkness. Okay. But that's how I feel. I feel really dark right now. Okay. Well, then change it. Change those glasses. Speak truth to yourself. And then say, what can I do in order? Shema. Remember, I listen and obey. Faith comes by the hearing of the word. I speak the word I hear, and then I do. So if you're like me, you probably cannot think of those things immediately. Well, then write them down in places. When I don't feel well, what do I do? And put that in that wall so that when I don't feel well and I don't know what to do, I go to that wall and read it and say it again and say it again until I line up heaven with earth. What the mind of Messiah, that's why you take every thought captive to the obedience of Messiah, so that that word speaks into my body from heaven to earth. So then I do that. And now I don't need it anymore on the wall, because I've done it enough that I know what to do. And that's what we're doing with this. So we've been doing all this to train ourselves to do this from now on. That doesn't mean I have arrived and don't need to do this anymore. Because here I am doing this for over 100 cycles and I'm still learning. Don't think that that is all it took. No, if I'm still here, I am not finished. Think about it. There's a lot in me that still needs work. And it's okay. I would have not laughed a few years back. I would have said, what? No, we're doing this. No, I'm kicking myself for doing that again. Oh, I'm going to do better this time. And I would just push myself and feel awful or cry at night. Tomorrow I'll be better. Oh God, please help me. But I would go between crying and kicking myself. And now it's like, yeah, there's this stuff there and it's okay. It will get done in his time. There's hope. There's hope for all of us. Keep working. Sixth day. So the Father created the beast first, the flesh first, and then man, our thinking man, marking another day of separation. Just the day 2 separates the water. The day 6 reminds us to separate the beast within us from the image that we bear. So going back to our menorah, here it is, day 2, or here, however you want to go by. And then the opposite of it is, or the connecting one to it, is 6. So we separate upper waters and lower waters, heavenly from earthly, and we separate beastly from man. Okay. That is connected that way for a reason. And this one gives me understanding, and this one gives me knowledge. Understanding comes before intimacy and knowledge. That's just the way is the healthy way to do it, the way the Father did it. So when you talk to yourself, are you speaking to the beast or the man? Cognitive dissonance arises when your actions or thoughts conflict with a divine image imprinted within you. It's there. You cannot That is like that, when if I send my watch to Omega to get it fixed, if I have tampered with the machine inside and they can see it because they have special tools to open that area that I don't have. So if I for somehow break that seal, they know it. And then they'll say, this is not under warranty. We we warranty our labor and how our machine works. Let me tell you, this machine has been working when I bought it 33 years ago, 33 or 34. And it's not a digital watch. They are handmade one by one. And they can guarantee their work, the workmanship that they put into each watch. The same thing happens to us. Why does the Father gives us all these examples? It's like, you're just amazing to me. Because he, the creator of this watch, has an image inside of me that I cannot get in there and ruin it. It's there, it's sealed by him, the creator. Now, I can cover it all I want. I can, damage everything that is on top of it. But that seal in there is his. And he knows if it's been tampered or not, or if I tried really hard enough to do that. All that to say is that there is an image of our Father deep in us. And it is this work that we're doing, is all the layers that we're taking up so that we can strengthen that, aligning it with this so that I know who I am. That's why I keep pushing that. Learn Exodus 34, 6 and 7. This is who we are because this is who he is, and he put his image in us. Therefore, this is who we are too. So we're not trying to become this person or that person or the those that we see and are so enamored with their lives, and we want to be just like them. Because if God wanted us to be just like them, he would have made us into them. But no, he didn't. He made you into you, and he made me into me. So I have to be the best me I can be, not somebody else. I love Carolyn Lee's used to say, I am a lousy you, but I'm an awesome me. So I cannot, no matter how much I try to be you, I cannot. I'll be a lousy you. I'll be a step below you. I can only be me. And instead of working so hard to be you, why don't I work hard and be me? Be the best me, because there's not another Simonette in the world. So why not be the best I can be? And that is what we do with all this process. Okay. It's a constant work. When the Father said, cursed be the ground because of what you've done, Adam, which Adam means mankind, he's talking to all of us, and you will eat by the sweat of your brow. Yeah, we will have what this body needs by working at it, by sweating, by doing the job. It's not going to come, just blink the eye and it's going to happen. The spirit of Adonai is the spirit of knowledge. Help us to embrace intimacy with the head, not the tail. Deuteronomy 28:13. And give us and guides us to align with his truth. Toxic thoughts and emotions often lodge in the body, manifesting it as tensions or stress. Today, call on the spirit of knowledge to identify and release them. The feast of Adonai is Yom Kippur, where we align with themes of repentance, intercession, and reconciliation. We need that first so that we can offer it to others, because we are royal priesthood. The wisdom from above is unwavering. We don't give up. We keep at it. We do it again and again and again until it's done. It doesn't give up. He watches over his word to accomplish it. Jeremiah 1:12. And if you think about, this is how I learn things with my number system. When I think of 1 and 12, right before my bat mitzvah or bar mitzvah, because I'm a man. And so that age 12, right before accountability, I'm thinking, okay, he has put a word that he is watching over until it accomplishes what it needs. So if I can think about that, I am not responsible for me until the 13th year, right? And if that is what he's saying, then I can count on that to now, he is implanting that word in me. He is watching over me. He knows I am not capable of doing that myself. But then at age 13, I'm going to start walking in those things. I'm going to start learning all those things because I need to line up with him. But he gives me some time to develop in order to get to a place of accountability. So there's 7 steps to freedom. We step into freedom. Steadfast is resisting the pull of spiritual bondage. So we're old enough now that we are not staying in bondage. Whatever it was that kept us in bondage, that is no longer us. He died to give us life, an eternal life. He said abundantly. We have everything we need for life and godliness. A godly person is not a bound person. So we walk in freedom so that we can be like our Father. Is our Father bound? No. So can I say that then? Yes. If he gives me everything to live with godliness, that means just like he is free, he's not bound, so can I. That's the logic that this system gives us. As we learn to use this, okay, if this says this and this is him, it's kind of like when I was a kid in a Catholic school, and the nun is telling me, that we evolved from monkeys, and she asked a question. It was a oral test, and I don't know. I think in 3rd grade. I was a kid, and or 2nd grade, and so she's asking them. So, where do we come from? And she's asking. So somebody goes me, and then they answered. But since nobody answered, she asked me. She said, "What do you think?" And I said, "From God." And he goes, "No, the answer is from the monkeys." And I said, "No, my God is not a monkey. Therefore, I didn't come from a monkey." She got angry at me and sent me to the principal, and called my mom for being rebellious and speaking out against her in classroom. I've been having that since I was a kid. So, that's the logic that the Father wants us to have. If we come from him, we will look like him, not like a monkey. And so those are the things that we have to develop, because since we were this tiny, we've been told, you answer what I told you to learn. And it says that in the book, therefore, that's what you say. You want an A, answer what I want, and you get an A. But if you challenge that, then there's something wrong with you. And I'm going to make sure that not just you learn this from an early age. I'm sending you to the principal so that she can call your mother, and then she can, discipline you at home. Or because the Catholic, it was all about physical punishment. And I'm going to teach the rest of the classroom through your example not to do that to me again. Anybody that stands up and challenges me is going to the principal's office too. That was the whole purpose of that. And as long as we go, oh, yes, teacher, or, mother, so and so, um, well, she's not my mother, but that kind of a thing, that is the world system. And we have learned from an early age to obey the world system. And don't you ruffle anybody's feathers. And don't you say what you don't need to say because you're not going to get that grade that you want. And then you're going to go home and then get more trouble at home. So, all this is so sickening to me. But unfortunately, is the world, and we're in the world. So we need to learn that, and we need to teach our children. Now, since I never was taught properly to do that, I could have said that differently if I would have been taught how to use those tools, but I didn't. So they just came out the way I thought them. And but we could teach our children to be respectful. She was still the teacher. And I needed to be respectful. I didn't need to say that, made everybody laugh and felt really cool, as a child. And mature in that kind of reminds me of Joseph telling his dreams. And there are ways to do that. Now, eventually, that's what the Father wanted me to do, because here we are. And I will be saying this to whoever has ears to hear me until the cows come home. Now, that's a earthly saying, until the Father comes back or takes me home. Um, that is, I can't help it. It's not like, oh, I just made that for myself. No, no, no. He wired that in me, and I can be better at with the gifts he has given me, or I can be lousy and harsh and be a symbol that just, clings and doesn't actually make music because I don't know how to play it properly. Then we have our last is the last two. So the Musar is bonding, your spiritual intuition. So that if I can if I can think of how do I bond and not separate, then I am being a minister of reconciliation. I'm learning to be who I need to be as I bond with the spiritual side of me and not with the natural or fleshy or beastly side of me. And I bond with the mind of Messiah. And the pillar of thought is musical. Musical enhances that intuition. The worship, the connection through music and rhythm helps us to create in our minds that rhythm with the heavenlies and not the rhythm. Really, if we hear the noise that the earth makes compared to the beautiful music that the Father system has, his kingdom is kind of like entering those spas that is like, you feel that peace. Well, his heavenly music is better than that. But it's a peaceful music. It's a music that helps us really move with grace and not have knee jerk knee reactions and things like that. Okay. So we journal about how music or creativity enhances your connection with him. Dancing or coloring or using any type of crafting, anything that you do with your body helps us. It helps that rhythm, and we'll have that connection with him. Continue the questions on, is it true? Is it absolutely true? And I hope as I'm giving you my own life experiences, you are able to see how to apply those questions. It's not just to that, but I can apply it to anything that I'm going through. I can reason because it's a way of pausing. When I pause and don't react, and I have this inner dialogue with myself, I am leaving the survival mode. I'm going into the limbic and eventually sitting in the heavenly places. And that is the staircase, that Jacob's ladder, just going up, bringing the stimuli from the earth, getting the information from the heavenly, and then bringing it back down to the earthly part of me to react, to respond and not react. But if I don't do this little process, I then just react because reacting doesn't require thinking. So it's fast, automatic, involuntary most of the time, which is scary. And we thank you, Abba. Thank you for another day of sitting with you, getting ready for the day of rest. We've done a lot of work between Sunday and today. And then this evening, we enter a time where we have loaded up. Kind of like Sambra was saying to Sissy, you are just, you did all this the week, have been worked up to the today, and now you're letting it all out. You're letting it do its process. And as we do that, then we are able to rest. After you have done all, we're told in Ephesians, stand. And that means I stand in the finished work of our Father. He worked from Sunday to Friday, and then he rested on Shabbat. He finished all he did. He didn't continue to tinker and put more little this and more little that and keep adding and taking away and all this stuff that we would do with a work of art. He did it all and he finished it. So we can too. We did all we could for this week, and we will rest in his finished work this week. And then on Sunday, we will start our last week on the Spirit and finish our third cycle. Thank you. Thank you, Abba. We love you. You are doing a wonderful job in all of us, whether we see it or not. We may think there is so much more to do, and it is true. We're still here. There's much to do. But you're still doing a wonderful job in all of us, and we thank you. And we enter your rest, not kicking ourselves or complaining about this, that, and the other, because we're not there yet. And people around us tell us that. We tell ourselves that. It's all good. We can rest. Sunday will be a new week, and we will deal again with it. But today, we rest. We put it all at your feet. And we let you place order, repair, restore. Do your kintsugi in us, what we need. In Messiah's precious name. Amen. So, I will see you. I will probably see you tomorrow because this afternoon I'm Mimi again, and I will be with my grandson, so I will not pre-record tomorrow. And so I will be here tomorrow morning.